So I was starting to not only keep my video at around 16 minutes, but really had to eat, or else it's gonna end up having a near syncopal episode while talking about my near syncopal episodes. For the longest time, for a good half a year, I was becoming less and less active because of my health, so I had switched to 2% milk instead of whole milk, because I didn't want to get all that extra cholesterol and fat. So I figured it would be healthier to drink 2% milk, but I don't think it's a coincidence that when I switched to the less fattening milk, my weight dropped down, so now I'm just want to get my weight back up and my muscle mass, so I'm just going with the whole milk. Of course, I'm sure plenty of bodybuilders would be screaming at me right now because I know that they only drinks skim milk because they refuse to put the bad stuff in from the whole milk in their systems. Those guys won't even touch 2% milk. So I was reading about Dr. Bernard Lim, the electrophysiologist that diagnosed me with vasovagal syncope. I'll continue reading where I was reading before. Alright, it says, I was talking about the crazy marijuana episode I had back in January 2010, and this report is from July 15, 2010. It says he denies taking any more marijuana since January. He continues to drink alcohol and strong liquor. That isn't true. I was not drinking strong liquor. I was just drinking like bush beer. So there's the first example of where he messed up on the report. On 6/19/2010, well, at a wedding, he took Jello that had been laced with vodka. I was just thinking for a second, that reminds me, that was during my older sister's wedding. I had some champagne and wine, but didn't have any strong liquor. And obviously Jello shots with vodka, vodka diluted down by Jello. He also tells me that his torn Achilles tendon has pain on a daily basis. Unfortunately, this is referring to after both my Achilles got hurt from training so hard and making the mistake of running too much on blacktop and sidewalks and hurting my tendons. I know there's plenty of marathon runners out there that run way more than I was, that have less issues, but that's what ultimately killed my hopes for trying to be a basketball player, was hurting those. And it says that has limited his exercise activities. He used to be this is funny, a very fit cyclist and jogger. I wasn't really a cyclist. I've never owned a cycling bicycle. I've always bought the heavy-ass mountain bikes because I didn't know better. It was kind of for the better anyways growing up because majority of the time I lived in Ohio, and there was, you always had to go through the hard winters, so the heavier bike with the, thicker, grippier tread was always better, but during the summer, it was all the extra effort pedaling those darn heavy things. Since he tore his Achilles tendon, he has refrained from these physical activities due to the discomfort. He tells me that he has not actually gone for surgery to repair his Achilles tendon, but because he's been able to afford surgery. I didn't just refrain from those activities because of my Achilles. I was refraining from because I was, feeling like I was going to pass out every time, so he could have mentioned that in the paragraph. His echo, I'll turn off this fan. One paper almost went flying. Good for now. His echocardiogram has demonstrated normal ejection fraction of 60%. He had a normal exercise stress test. Not true at all. I failed the stress test. I specifically remember failing the stress test because I was supposed to get up to a specific target heart rate, and I had to quit before then. And they just went ahead and did the echo anyways, since my heart was worked up. So, good example of doctors screwing up your medical reports. His coronary angiogram was negative for coronary artery disease. However, there was some concern that he had episodes of non-sustained VT, which stands for ventricular tachycardia, of about 6 to 7 beats noted on his event monitor. Which, by the way, when later on in the future, when I started going to Mid-Ohio Cardiology here in town in Circleville, they, Dr. Lamb, when I told him I had a near syncope episode and that I was diagnosed with vasovagal syncope, it was kind of funny. He was kind of like my old family doctor, and he said that I had to have been misdiagnosed, and he looked into VT. And then that's funny, I tested positive for non-sustained VT, but when Mid-Ohio Cardiology tested me for VT, it came back negative, so some craziness. This is just dates of right. Then he has one more report. I know I could read through these and find some mistakes, but hey, everybody makes them. All right, let's see what this says. All right. This is what cracks me up. This guy's an electrophysiologist. His very first line, this patient has vasovagal syncope. And I've, gave this to my old family doctor. I've given this to my newer cardiology department, and they don't give a crap that that's the very first thing he says on my diagnosis, which diagnosis, you know, there's a mistake right there. It says syncope. I don't actually pass out. And it should say I have near syncope, but vasovagal syncope is the category it fits under, so that's why he did that. He has a characteristic prodrome of lightheadedness, dizziness, and tingling sensation, followed by prolonged post-syncopal fatigue and lethargy. He also has an important trigger in that he has constant pain from his torn Achilles tendon that is providing a trigger for his autonomic nervous system and his frequent attacks. So he's actually the only person that ever brought this up. Which I completely disagree with this. The pain in my Achilles did not send me into an anxiety attack. It was just like bothersome. Like if I exercise too much, my back of my Achilles, you know, behind your ankle would just be feel tightened up and feel like, I don't know, like the slightly torn, especially if I exercise too hard. But in his personal opinion, he believed it was a trigger. But I doubt that the minor pain I was having in my Achilles tendon from like walking around was the reason for frequent attacks. So even a specialist can go a little off the charts. All right. Let's see if the video runs out. I discussed in detail with him the pathophysiology of vasovagal syncope and stressed that one of the mainstays of management is elimination of pain triggers. I would like him to take regular ibuprofen or Tylenol at least 3 times per day to keep the pain under control. By the way, my Achilles are pretty much healed now. I don't exercise that much, so if I do, they will get sore again, but not like they used to be. I recommended that he seek surgical help to repair his Achilles tendon, which I didn't do. I ended up just taking 2 years for them to heal. I offered my assistance if he should need help in finding a surgeon to do the repair. What he's talking about is the hospital he was connected to had a charity program, so they would have done the surgery on me for free since I had no income, despite me not having Medicaid coverage. I also explained that knee-high compression stockings with a 20 to 30 millimeter HD of pressure is mainstay in the management of vasovagal syncope. I tried those out for a while, and they were doing absolutely nothing for me. They were almost making my episodes worse. They were like cutting off the circulation of my feet. I have given him education about mainstay in the management of vasovagal syncope. I've given him education about adequate hydration and recommend that he drink 8 6-ounce glasses of water per day. Here, 2 years later, I don't. Over 2 years later, I don't. Religiously drink 6-ounce glasses of water, but I do have. If you can see it back there, beneath that newspaper, I have bottled water because the tap water here needs worked on. It's got like turquoise particles. So I got maybe a minute left of video time, so probably won't finish this page. Which in that case, I'll just go ahead and stop now and continue reading.